is a difference between the good football and the killer instinct, and we're lacking the killer instinct, and I think it comes with someone who can score goals. Hiya. Right, Joe sent me some questions for my review of the game. I'm driving down to Wales. Well, I'm not driving, because that would be really irresponsible to be trying to record a video whilst driving, wouldn't it? No, I am merely but a passenger. But on the M6 if anyone's interested. Right, questions off Joe. Let's shut that sat nav up, shall we? He says, who do I blame for the loss? Now, I got a bone of contention to pick with Joe here, because he's been down at TalkSport for a day and he's got this incessant need now to blame somebody for a loss. Who do I blame for the loss? Everybody involved in the club. They all have a collective responsibility to ensure results. I don't blame any particular individual. I thought we made chances. We created chances and we defended relatively well. I think the sun's really bright in it. I think Harry Maguire should have done better for the first goal, and everybody that was on the football pitch should have done better for the second goal that we conceded, like 96 minutes, whenever it was. Ultimately, it wasn't good enough, but we also have to take our chances at the other end of the pitch. So I don't like the phrasing of the question, the framing of the question, that there has to be someone to blame whenever United lose. Sometimes the other team has just done enough to get the 3 points. Now, I don't think United deserved to lose. I think we was probably valued for at least a point. We did have our opportunity to win it. We didn't get the win. It is what it is at the end of the day. Like, it's not that drastic. Number two, are we seeing the same type of performance as last season, or were there improvements? Of course there's improvements. Like, I've read some of the comments on my own review, right? And obviously it's the internet, so there's wildly differing opinions on every single aspect of the performance, good and bad, right? My God, look how bent this is. Get up there. Hang on, let me straighten this up. It's not having it. It just wants to be pissed. No, they're different. Do you not think they're different? I think they're different. We're not conceding anywhere near the same number of chances. We're not conceding them in the same manner as well. When you look at Manchester United last season, you could have drove a fleet of buses through the centre of the pitch. Like, how did the goals come about this time? They came from crosses, both of them, right? So they're different. So you can't possibly say that they're the same mistakes that we were seeing last season, because that's factually incorrect, provably incorrect. So no. 3, tell me about the disallowed goal. How much does that change the game? Massively. Right, by the letter of the law, it's a disallowed goal. He is offside. If he lies down and it doesn't hit him in the knee, it goes in, and I don't think they chalk it off, because I think you can argue that it was already going in and it doesn't interfere with play, and I think that would be fine. Now, I don't think, yes, he changed the direction of the ball, therefore he has interfered with play, but it's almost in, isn't it? I mean, it's almost in when it hits him on the knee. It's on its way into the goal. It's so unlucky, because, yeah, by the letter of the law, he has touched the ball. He's put it in the back of the net. It wasn't in the back of the net until he hits it. It was in an offside position. All we needed was one of them Brighton players to be off the pitch, and we'd have been all right, because that would have counted as them being on the line, which is, therefore no one could have been offside. It's the same reason that a corner is no one's offside from a corner. Yeah, it would massively impact the game, and I thought United's response was good. Obviously, we immediately responded with Marcus Rashford, and that one was offside as well. So, we've put the ball in the back of the net a few times today, and it being offside on a couple of those occasions. It wasn't a vintage, or certainly wasn't a brilliant performance. I just thought it was pretty good for the most part. People are always going to be like, well, the result wasn't good. No, it wasn't, but the performance was all right. Yes, there was a couple of individual mistakes for the goals that we conceded. We got a bit better with the ball in the final third, and what we've sort of said through pre-season, we kind of do need a goal scorer. Like, we bring Ugarte in, he's kind of fixing a problem that's not quite been as drastic as, and I'm sure it would be at some point in the season, but he's coming in to fix a problem that wouldn't quite be as drastic as it has been last season. What United need is someone that's going to score some goals. Marcus needs to step up. Ahmad needs to step up. They both had opportunities and were in positions to score and didn't. Bruno needs to get himself on the score sheet. Mason Mount needs to get himself on the score sheet. And, Xerxes, I guess he was kind of on the score sheet, but maybe get out of the way of it so someone else can get on the score sheet this time. Garnacho's coming in and providing goals and assists off the bench, and that's fine. And some people will decide that means he has to start. Maybe that's the case, but I don't think it's a black and white thing. I think you have to look at the overall performances. I don't think he did too much wrong today. I thought last week, though, his decision making still left a lot to be desired, and I think starting Marcus was still the right decision. Hindsight being 2020, would you have done that again? Probably would, to be honest. Probably would. That doesn't mean that's an immovable option or something that'll never change. It's just the current state of players. I think that's probably what I would do. Which players impressed me and who disappointed me? Thought Mazraoui looked good again. Really enjoyed what he's doing. Mainu and Casemiro were all right. We dominated the ball nicely. Who disappointed me? Probably the whole forward line, to be honest. They're just not creating enough, and they're not scoring the opportunities that they get. From Rashford to Ahmad to Mount and Bruno, they've all kind of got to be more clinical, more ruthless. You see Manchester City go behind today, almost immediately equalise, and then we're literally standing on the sideline of our match as someone goes, it's 3-1 City, you're like, hang on, it was 1-1 2 minutes ago. United don't have that killer instinct at the moment. Like, we can play some good football, but there's a difference between the good football and the killer instinct, and we're lacking the killer instinct, and I think it comes with someone who can score goals. Who's that Ruud van Nistelrooy? Who's that Robin van Persie? Who's that Wayne Rooney? Who's that Eric Cantona that's going to put the ball in the back of the net on a consistent basis for us? I missed out Andy Cole and Dwight York. It wasn't intentional. There you go. What needs to change between now and next week? Not loads. I think he's got some big decisions to make. What's Ugati's role coming into it? What's Mason Mount's role coming into it? At what point does Xerxes start games? He's going to have some big decisions, but honestly, we're going to fall out about you being on TalkSport, because who do I blame for the loss and what needs to change? No one and nothing is a valid answer to that. You probably go out and play the same way against Liverpool and get a result. Brighton are a tough team. They're going to be a tricky team. Manager's decent. He suits the players that they've got. The system that they've got is good. We dominated the ball today. We were good with the ball. We've just got to be better in the final third, and that's it. Anyway, take it easy. See you in a bit.